On the left aisle, Yeshiva University High School for Girls, coming in on this aisle. Please clear the aisles now. Entering down the right aisle, Yeshiva University High School for Boys in Manhattan. Now entering the auditorium are the Valedictorians. The Valedictorians entering down this aisle. Please keep the aisles clear. Entering now, honored guests, members of the board, the faculty, the administrators, and the principal of Yeshiva University High School, and the supervisor, Dr. Abraham and Zuroff. Will everyone please join in the singing of the national anthem led by Joel Schindel and remain standing for the invocation to be given by Rabbi Nachum Muschel, Dean, Hebrew Institute of Rockland County.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the Rockies were glad, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Avinu Shebashamayim, invigorated by the sight of scores of Bnei Torah Ken Yirbu, impressed with preciousness of Bnot Yisrael, all of whom emerged tonight from this great Torah institution, Yeshiva University High School, we raise our voice of thanksgiving to you, O God, in the words chosen by Chachamenu Zichronam Livracha for Chagigat HaSiyum, we give expression to our true sentiments as we exclaim, Modim anachnu lecha shesamta chalkeinu miyoshvei Beit HaMidrash. We are grateful, O God, that Thou hast placed our essence and the verity of our children among those whose insight and life parents are fashioned by the prescription of Beit HaMidrash. With uplifted spirit and newly acquired confidence, we behold this impressive convocation of youth, conscious of the fact that ours is the privilege of witnessing the fulfillment of the psalmist's description, Asher baneinu kanetiyim megudalim binureihem, benotenu kizaviyot mechutavot tavnit heichal. Our sons are like plants grown up in their youth, our daughters steadfast columns fit for temple use. Moved by this sight, we beseech Thee, O Lord, to endow these young people with unceasing determination and flowing vigor to diffuse the awesome twilight which envelopes our civilization. Let the unique and tested blend of Torah Umadah, which characterizes their total training, brighten the perception of those whose Torah is rendered futile in a relentless estrangement from Madah. But let it also awaken those whose Madah has become brutal in the stubborn alienation from Torah. May the exemplary Torah values of our graduates dispel the clouds of our decadent society. May their hearty concern for Am Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael dislodge the apathy and despair that sap our vitality. And may their sense of decency and integrity obliterate the prevailing immorality. Bless, O God, all those who built this Torah fortress, who direct it and maintain it, who warm human hearts within it with love of Torah and commitment to mitzvot, with an ongoing thirst for learning. Let them find their reward in the awareness that their disciples have given fulfillment to the prayer, Lo nigal arik, lo neileit labehala. We have not labored in vain. We have not brought forth ruin. Baruch Elokeinu, Shehivdilanu min hatoim, v'chayei olam nata betocheinu. Blessed be our God, who has separated us from those who err, having given us a Torah of truth, and planted in us the seeds of eternal life. Amen.
Will everyone please be seated? As you all noticed, the invocation was accompanied by divine thunder as a sign that God favors the invocation, what was expressed here this evening. Mr. Bendheim, Rabbi Weinbach, members of the administration, faculty, parents, relatives, friends, and last but hardly least, graduates. May I extend a hearty welcome to all of you on this very happy occasion. Many of you, and certainly the boys who are graduating this evening, have undoubtedly come across a fascinating article by the celebrated Israeli humorist Ephraim Kishon. I say the boys because a reprint of his article has been posted outside the office for the last several months. Ephraim Kishon wrote a piece recently in Ma'ariv entitled Hakippah Hasruga, the knitted skullcap. In it, he takes to task the war generation of Israeli young people whom he describes as selfish, uncaring, and ill-mannered, for whom violence is a way of life. So much so that even an everyday activity, like, say, going to the movies, becomes a source of frustration. You look about you in the dark theater and ask yourself where this new youth has come from. Whence this shrill coarseness? You look and you try to find an explanation. You positively pray for an excuse, and you wonder what kind of youth this is that riots for the sake of rioting. And you find they have only one thing in common. They do not wear the knitted skullcap. Not ever. Kishon, of course, is oversimplifying the matter. For the root of this malady lies in the kind of chinuch this youth has received in their left-wing kibbutzim. Let me illustrate by citing the following story. A concerned mother from one of these kibbutzim addresses her problem to the editor of a Hashomer Hatzair newspaper that provides a special column on educational advice for parents. It seems that this woman, together with her 5-year-old daughter, were looking at an illustrated calendar. One of the pictures, the Kotel HaMa'aravi, caught this young child's fancy, and she asked what it was. Mother answered, "This is the last remnant of the Bet HaMikdash." Child, what is the Bet HaMikdash? Mother, it is a place where people prayed. Child, what does it mean to pray? The mother, in writing to the editor, said that she became so confused in trying to supply answers to her child's queries that she just could not satisfy her child's innocent curiosity. The editor, in reply, gave the mother the following advice. First, in answer to the question about the Kotel, the mother could have avoided a lot of perplexities and complications by saying merely that it is a high wall. This would not have aroused any further questioning on that subject. As for the Bet HaMikdash question, the mother should have described it merely as a very beautiful building where many people gathered for celebrations, for chagigot. The child would then merely have associated it with a large dining hall in the kibbutz when celebrations are held. This is reflective of the kind of education that is given to the non-religious youth. Is it any wonder then that there are over 200,000 Yordim here in America, the preponderant majority of whom are not religious? Kishon continues, and I quote, "In a society that is slowly becoming faceless, the young faces under the skull caps remain unchanged. Good, clean faces. There is still room for courtesy under those caps. There is seriousness. There is still love of one's country. We've never heard a pointless remark about this country from them. They are not guilty of jokes such as the one that says, 'Will the last man that leaves the country please turn out the lights at Ben Gurion Airport?' They do not toy with the idea of leaving this country, and it isn't a joking matter to them. They do not have short memories and long hair. And when people gather to discuss what can, after all, still be done to improve our society, encourage immigration, create new settlements and other old-fashioned things of that kind, you can bet there will always be plenty of skull caps around." We breathe easier at the sight of the knitted skull cap. Tell you the truth, whenever we see pleasant faces around us, we look for the skull caps behind them. Kishon concludes his article with a confession that what to him are outdated ideas have produced the better Israelis, that the kosher kitchen has turned out to be a firmer spiritual base than the bastions of reason and progress. In fact, he can hardly imagine a state of Israel without that religious faith. He is even prepared to forego the pleasures of going to the movies on Friday night or traveling on a bus on Shabbat if this is the price that has to be paid in order to produce a youth such as those symbolized by the Kippah HaSruga. We thank Mr. Kishon for his positive evaluation, admiration, and appreciation of our religious youth, especially because in the past it was always the religious segment of Israeli society that served as a sitting target for his cynical darts. But he misses the very core when he fails to realize that the skull cap in itself is merely an external manifestation of something that penetrates deeply into the heart, mind, and soul of our youth. And that determinant is their Torah chinuch. Attitudes, perspectives, values, a complete Weltanschauung is not produced in a vacuum. They are rather the result of intensive efforts, deep study, and sincere dedication. You, the American counterparts of Kippah HaSruga, represent one more link in a golden chain of thousands of our graduates who have contributed much to the growth, development, and enrichment of Jewish life, both here in America and in Israel. May your lives be inextricably bound up with the study and observance of Torah, a deep concern for Am Yisrael, and an inseparable bond with Eretz Yisrael. May you achieve success in all your endeavors. I am confident that you will be worthy successors of your illustrious predecessors. Alu vehatzlichu. At this time, it is my pleasure to present the chairman of the board, a member of the Board of Trustees of Yeshiva University, a veteran parent of many graduates of various parts of the university, a Kohen who has been mandated by God to give a bracha. It is a pleasure to present Mr. Charles Bendheim.
On the program this evening, I see I'm to welcome all of you. I must repeat what I've done in the past. It is very hot and humid. I don't want to try your patience. I just wish all of you loads of mazal, hatzlacha, and all your endeavors today and forevermore. Thank you.
Dr. Zuroff, I would like to present to you 176 candidates for graduation from the Yeshiva University High School for Girls and Boys of Manhattan. The audience is requested to withhold its applause until all the candidates have been presented. Mr. Alvin Rapp will present the candidates for graduation from the Yeshiva University High School for Girls.
As your name is called, please rise and remain standing until all candidates for graduation have been presented. Susan Adler, Judith Altshuler, Rebecca Amitai, Michelle Arbesfeld, Sandra Baer, Suzanne Bennett, Leah Bornstein, Lorraine Bracker, Susan Choyley, Francine Dorman, Ida Eskin, Doreen Fader, Taryn Fishman, Adele Gersten, Bonnie Gleischer, Esther Gleischer, Irit Graf, Eva Gruscott, Miriam Hendler, Rebecca Herman, Sharon Hertzka, Shelley Kleiman, Mati Laufa, Michal Levin, Susan Markovitz, Sharon Markowitz, Deborah Milstein, Susan Moed, Nina Newman, Miriam Newmark, Ruth Renels, Frida Raffvogel, Diane Reuter, Carol Rosenfeld, Romema Shapiro, Rayla Sladowski, Shari Shrilowitz, Brenda Stober, Mindy Sussman, Edith Kaufman, Linda Tepper, Barbara Weiss, Gabrielle Wolfart, Ellen Yadlovka. Please be seated. Please be seated. I am pleased to present to you Miss Miriam Hendler, who will deliver the valedictory address.
מנהלינו ומורינו הנכבדים, הורים יקרים, אורחים חשובים וחברותיי המסיימות. בשעה זו שעננים קודרים מכסים את האופקים של העולם כולו, רואות אנו המסיימות ביתר שאת ויתר בהירות את קרני האור של חיי היהדות הטהורה, שהיא כמעט אי בודד מבחינת המוסר והאידיאלים הנצחיים של טהרת המידות. את ההבחנה בין טוב לרע שהחדרו בליבנו מחנכנו במשך כל שנות לימודינו בישיבתנו, אני מקווה לא נשכח לעולם. ממילא לא ינתק החוט המשולש של נאמנות לתורתנו וקיום מצוותיה, של נאמנות ומסירות לעמנו ושל זיקה נפשית למדינת ישראל. לא ינתק החוט הזה המקשר אותנו עם יסודות אמונתנו, המלמדת אותנו לחיות במסגרת חיים של אזרחות נאמנה למדינת ארצות הברית, מבלי לוותר אף כמלוא נימה מהשוני המאפיין אותנו והנותן לנו את הזכות להיקרא עם סגולה וממלכת כהנים. עד כמה הבחינו אפילו הגויים בתכונה המיוחדת לעם ישראל מבחינת טהרת המידות, אנו למדים מפרשת השבוע הזה, שבו הודה בלעם הרשע את ייחודו של עם ישראל במילים מה טובו אוהלך יעקב משכנותיך ישראל, שנכנסו אפילו לראשית התפילות בסידור. המילה אוהל מציינת סתם אוהל, מקום מגורים, וגם אוהל לימודים. רש"י מציין בפירושו שמתוך כיוון פתחי האוהלים הבחין בלעם במידות הצניעות המיוחדות לעם ישראל מראשית היותו לעם. מצד שני ידוע לנו שיעקב אבינו היה איש תם יושב אוהלים ובילה את כל זמנו בלימודים באוהל תורה. חינוכנו לאהבת הלימודים ולצניעות הוא תריס בפני השפעת הסביבה המלאה רעל של שחיתות המידות בתקופה קשה זו של שינוי ערכים בעולם. חינוכנו, מקוות אנו המסיימות, יגן עלינו מהשפעת הקוראים לרע טוב ולטוב רע. שינוי ערכים זה מסכן לא רק את מידות האנושית, אלא גם מהווה אבן נגף לקיומה של מדינת ישראל בקרב האומות. אכן למדנו שמאז ומעולם היינו עם לבדד ישכון, ולמרות זאת זכינו בעזרת השם להתגבר על כל המכשולים שעמדו בדרכנו. הערכים שלמדנו בבית ספרנו ייתנו לנו נשק רוחני להילחם בעתיד באלה הרוצים לעשות בנו חס ושלום מעשה עמלק. צירוף של לימודי קודש ולימודי חול על טהרת הקודש שספגנו בבית ספרנו יכשיר אותנו בעזרת השם לחיות חיי יהדות שלמה באוהלנו וגם מחוץ לאוהלנו. נשתדל להפגין את יהדותנו כיסוד אנושותנו. בשם כל המסיימות אני מקווה שנצליח בעזרת השם להיות לכבוד למוסדנו, לעמנו ולכל קודשי אומתנו, וגם נעמוד לימין מדינת ישראל ללא היסוס בכל מלוא מרד הנעורים שלנו. את ערכי היהדות הנשגבים נשתדל גם לנטוע בלב הדור הבא, שאנו מקוות לחנך בעתיד, לאחר שנזכה בבוא המועד, לבנות בעזרת השם בתים בישראל. לבסוף, אני רואה חובה לעצמי להביע בשמי ובשמן של כל חברותיי המסיימות תודה מקרב לב להורינו היקרים שאפשרו לנו ללמוד בישיבתנו, למנהלינו ולכל מורינו שהעשירו את ידיעותינו והרחיבו את אופקינו והאירו את חיינו באור התורה הקדושה, שיש בכוחה לפזר ולגרש את העננים הקודרים משמי עתידנו, ושיש בכוחה להאיר את עולמנו בזיו טהרת המידות ובשיפור היחסים שבין אדם למקום, בין אדם לחברו וגם בין ישראל לעמים. תודה רבה.
Rabbi George Finkelstein will present the candidates for graduation from the Yeshiva University High School for Boys.
As your name is called, please rise and remain standing until all candidates for graduation have been presented. And to the audience, may I please ask that out of fairness to everyone, that you withhold your applause until all of the graduates have been presented. David Abramson, Erwin Adelsberg, Gerald Adler, Jeffrey Adler, Raphael Adler, Jacob Aftel, Gary Ambrose, Robert Applebaum, Jordan Beck, William Berger, Joel Bleiberg, David Blumenthal, Ben Cherney, Joshua Chesser, Lieber Cohen, Stephen Cohen, Lawrence Cohn, Stanley Cooper, Marvin Davidowitz, Yaakov Davis, Beryl Eckstein, Michael Edelson, Yotav Eliach, Harvey Elner, Marvin Fallick, Barry Felberman, Melvin Freilich, David Friedman, Paul Friedman, Elliot Fuld, Howard Garfinkel, James Gershfield, Chaim Gettenberg, Howard Getzler, Samuel Gilbert, Leon Glazer, Seymour Goldberg, Bruce Goldstein, David Goldstein, Elliot Goldstein, Jeffrey Goldstein, Paul Goldstein, Sheldon Goldstein, Harvey Goldwasser, Joseph Gottesman, Barry Grau, Jonathan Gross, Zev Gross, Yaakov Hagler, Barry Hartglass, Ira Herman, Howard Hochman, Leslie Hornstein, Henry Huppard, David Jacobowitz, Larry Jacobs, Stephen Jacobs, Eli Kahn, Hyman Kasorla, Daniel Kaufman, Abby Kelman, Israel Klein, Mark Kleinman, Jay Kranzler, Mark Krasna, Arthur Lazar, Charles Lazarus, Shimon Leibowitz, Harold Levine, Eddie Lifshitz, Bruce Lilker, Martin Lovey, Michael Malka, Alfred Mansour, Russell Mayer, Oscar Messer, Samuel Meyer, Aaron Mittelman, Ezra Moshe, Idel Moisa, Howard Markovitz, Moshe Michel, Michael Nordlich, Zachary Novosela, Henry Nussbacher, Harry Prower, Stephen Przansky, Howard Pulitzer, Kenneth Rabinowitz, Joshua Rapps, Barry Reiner, William Rose, Jeffrey Rosen, Gary Rosenberg, Raymond Roth, Shlomo Roth, Gerard Schiller, Eli Schlesinger, Ephraim Schlisser, Menashe Shore, Philip Schrank, Carrie Schwartzbach, Samuel Schwarzmer, Eli Schwabel, Isaac Sainik, David Siegel, Stephen Silverman, Stephen Semenowitz, Edwin Simpson, Barry Singer, Richard Spearer, Mattis Stavsky, Jerry Stein, Bennett Steinberg, Jacob Stromer, Edward Sussman, Edwin Sussman, Larry Tiefenbrunn, Aaron Weinbach, Barry Weinberger, Joshua Weiss, Robert Weiss, Arnold West, Michael Williams, Glenn Winter, Neil Winzelberg, Michael Zibel, Leonard Ziegler, Charles Ziegelman, Carrie Zischholz. Please be seated. It gives me great pleasure to present to you Joshua Weiss, who will deliver the valedictory address.
Rabbi Zuroff, Mr. Bendheim, Rabbi Weinbach, and members of the faculty and administration, dear parents and fellow graduates. The Torah in Parshat Shlach Lecha relates to us the account of the 12 spies sent by Moshe to the Promised Land. The Parsha lists the Nesiim who were chosen by the Meraglim and then states, Vayikra Moshe Hoshea bin Nun Yehoshua. And Moshe renamed Hoshea bin Nun Yehoshua. Rashi explains, Nitpalel alav ka Yoshiacha me'atzat meraglim. He prayed for Yoshua that Hashem should save him from the advice of the meraglim. The obvious question that arises is why didn't Moshe also pray for Kalev ben Yefuneh, who also argued against the meraglim? The Chavetz Chaim, Zichrono Tzadik Livracha, answers the problem in this manner. When the corrupted and evil influences are numerous, and there's only one influence following Hashem, there are two ways for this righteous opinion to expose the others. The first is to openly confront and oppose the others, attempting to show even them the true way. The second way is to remain passive before the opposition and to agree with them until the tzaddik can come before all the people to clarify the true way and to expose the Rishayim. The risk of the first approach is that the Rishayim can join together against him physically and harm the tzaddik. He therefore needs the help of HaKadosh Baruch Hu to protect him. The problem of the second approach is that during the long wait, the internal strength of the righteous opinion may be weakened, and the tzaddik may be convinced to accept the erroneous ideas. Moshe Rabbeinu Olav HaShalom understood these two approaches. Yehoshua took the first approach, and therefore needed the help of HaKadosh Baruch Hu to protect him. Kalev's approach was the second, so he needed no bracha from Moshe. However, when the Meraglim became frightened and made known their evil intentions, Kalev had to go to the graves of our forefathers to pray for inner strength. By sometimes mentioning Yehoshua's name first, and sometimes mentioning Kalev's first, the Torah tells us that both of these approaches are righteous. These two approaches are relevant to us, and both must be employed in our lives. In our 4 years in the yeshiva, we have been able to find and keep the correct path through the help of our fine Rabban. Through their strengthening, we have been able to be followers of Hashem quietly, without any manifested demonstrations. We must realize, though, that as we grow older and leave the yeshiva atmosphere, we will not have these strengthening forces around us. The non-Jewish world, which does not recognize the greatness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and which exhibits many aesthetic but undesirable elements for the religious Jew, can weaken one's inner strength and turn a person astray from the correct path. We must employ the first approach also, and remind ourselves constantly that we are B'nai Torah and must continue to follow HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We must do this not only to strengthen ourselves, but also to influence the rest of our environment. Shammai in Pirkei Avot says, Emor ma'at va'aseh harbeh, which the Meforshim explained to mean that when you are going to help someone, your deed should be greater than your original plan. So must we do. Say little, do much, and actively lead others to the correct path of serving Hashem. Thank you.
Dr. Zuroff, I respectfully request that you declare those who have completed their required course of study graduates and eligible to receive their diplomas.
So declared. Okay. I would like to indicate that of the 176 graduates here this evening, There are 21 who went on early admission to Yeshiva College, 96 and Stern College, and 96 who are participants in the co-op program at Yeshiva College and Stern College. 77 won state scholarships, while 25 were named alternates. 5 were named National Merit Finalists. I'd like to single out for special distinction a young man who distinguished himself, Barry Hartglass, who was selected a prize winner in the New York Daily News School Science Fair for the 6th year in a row, won awards from the U.S. Army, Columbia Presbyterian Hospital, and Scientific American magazine. At the science fair, he displayed his holographic interference microscope, something he's been working on since he was a 7th grader at Yeshiva Soloveitchik. Barry has been granted a patent on the microscope which records three-dimensional images on film and operates on the wave phenomenon of light. He'll be displaying his work at the Union Carbide building. In fact, it's already on display from June 10th to June 30th. Congratulations.
I would like to pay tribute and offer our gratitude to Dr. Abraham Zuroff as he prepares to leave the high schools to assume other responsibilities within his alma mater, Yeshiva University. I want to acknowledge on behalf of the Board of Directors, the administration, faculty, and students of the Yeshiva University High Schools of Manhattan, our recognition of the devotion and zeal which you brought to your endeavors for us. Dr. Zuroff, you have the lasting gratitude and esteem and an enduring tribute expressed in the deeds and accomplishments of thousands of high school graduates. Please accept this token of our appreciation as we hail you as a friend, scholar, teacher, educator, and administrator.
Thank you very much. It is indeed with gratefulness and pride that I look back over 30 years of association with Yeshiva University High Schools, gratefulness for the opportunity to be in a position to serve young people at a crucial and formative age, pride in the tremendous achievements and accomplishments. These young graduates, during the course of the last 30 years, have made their mark in the rabbinate, in science, in medicine, in law, engineering, business, and it is indeed with much pride that I look back over these 30 years. Just one illustration of what Nachas is, 2 days ago, I was visited by one of our graduates who, upon graduation from Yeshiva University High School, enrolled in Cooper Union. After he graduated from Cooper Union, where he majored in physics, he went to the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and this month he received his PhD. But what is important is this, that when he was graduating from the high school, he received a set of Mishnayos as a Talmud award. And although he did not continue at Yeshiva, but he went to Cooper Union and then MIT, he continued to study. And so, simultaneous with his receiving the PhD in physics, nuclear physics, he also made a siyum on Mishnayos. At this time, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all those people who have been active participants in making this year a most successful academic year. Rabbi Weinbach, Rabbi Finkelstein, Mr. Rapp, members of the faculty, members of the office staff headed by Naomi, Mrs. Weitzendorf, who is indeed a mother to all, parents and the students themselves. Congratulations to all of you. You are all requested to rise for the benediction and remain in your places until the procession has completed its withdrawal. The benediction will be given by Rabbi Eugene Markovitz.
אתה חונן לאדון דאס ומלמד לאנוש בינה. Thou endowest man with knowledge and teachest him understanding. We are grateful for the knowledge, understanding, wisdom, and commitment that our children, the graduates of this class, have acquired at this great institution of learning. We are encouraged and uplifted by the fact that the mainstream of American Jewish life will be enriched by the impact and the inspiration these graduates will bring to bear upon their contemporaries. Strengthen them, O Lord, in this resolve and imbue them with a sense of the unique responsibility and challenge upon them as graduates of a Torah Mossad of such high attainment. Bless their parents who chose the path of Torah for their children. May they be granted the schus of experiencing other spiritually heightened moments and events such as the one we have now been privileged to witness. Amen.
The audience is requested to remain standing and please keep the aisles clear until after the recessional.